Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial on how to speedrun the Outlast Insane mode. So I'm going to be doing this tutorial to mainly help a friend of mine complete the achievement of completing the game on Insane mode without reloading the camera batteries. However, this tutorial can also be used to complete the game simply in Insane mode. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is of course head straight forwards, hop over the barrier, and you're going to go and open the gate. So once this has happened, you're going to simply sprint to the left and you're going to head for the crack underneath the gate. While this is happening, it's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing that this tutorial will not be able to help you out with is your visibility settings, and the reason I say that is because I play I do this run with the highest brightness settings on my television and on the game, because I'm not supposed to be using the camera. So what you want to do with this glitch is that you want to sprint jump up onto the window, and you're going to pull yourself back so you're stood on the windowsill. Then you're going to crouch down and position yourself on just to the right of this small piece of glass, and then push yourself onto the left of it, against the left of it, and it should raise you onto a small invisible barrier above it. You're then going to slowly move to the left until you are floating above the scaffolding. You are then going to stand up, turn around and jump forwards, where you're basically then going to do exactly as I do, because there are invisible barriers along all of the metallic pieces of scaffolding, so make sure that you avoid the non-metallic pieces of scaffolding. So then once you have done as I do, you're then going to jump straight, sprint jump straight through that wall as I did, and continue on with the tutorial. And then what you're going to do is you're going to shut the door, and then you're going to open it and perform the door glitch when you jump back and jump forwards. Now you might get a little bit stuck, but don't worry, just crouch and you'll be able to just get on top of the door. You're going to walk along and you're going to fall just in the middle of the door. You will take a bit of damage, but don't worry, you're going to drop to the left into this computer room. So then you're just going to follow exactly as I do, and I'm going to be explaining the glitches as we do them. So with this glitch here, what happens is when you hop over an object, your hitbox shrinks slightly, and so if you position yourself like I do and jump forward, you'll be able to jump straight for the wall. Make sure you jump twice and then leave it, and you should land down here in the basement. So once you're down here in the basement, you want to go and open the door just to save a little bit of time. So then you're going to turn around and smash that button, and you're going to turn left and head straight out the door, using your camera batteries a little bit if you have to, but then you're going to open that and you're going to run there and turn on that button there. So this guy takes 6 hits in order to break down a door, but we're going to be using a glitch of crouching rapidly in front of enemies. If you crouch rapidly in front of enemies, it restarts their hit animation, so they just sort of stay stationary where they are if you just keep crouching. And when you feel like you're happy enough and far enough away from him, just continue forwards and running and going through the corridors. So then you follow along and you reach this door. You're going to make sure you shut that behind you, and you're going to push up the lever. You're then going to stand to the left of the door, as so, and wait for him to come in. So he'll take 6 hits to break down the door, and the second he's done that, you're going to literally spam crouch so that he doesn't hit you and stays stationary, so you don't die by him. The only real way that you could die during this run is if you get stuck during a glitch and have to restart the game, or the wall rider kills you, because I do believe that the crouching glitch does not work on the wall rider for whatever reason. Either it doesn't work or I'm doing it wrong, but you can't really do it wrong. But anyway, yeah, you're going to make your way along, crouching, then jump over and just run for it. You'll notice here that I'm doing a lot of that without my camera, just because I know the way out, but if you have to use your camera, do feel free to. However, try to keep its usage to a minimum. So then you're going to go along and smash that button, turn around, jump up. And so this is the tricky bit in a way. You want to make sure he's not following you, and if he is, you want to run forward and go through the crack. Now you would continue to go through a door back up to the IT room, but because you glitched down here, that door is actually shut, so you can't go through it. So you have to do a special glitch that I do, which is another wall breach glitch. So when he's gone, you're going to go back to the door and you're going to jump over this barrier like I do, where you sort of leap over it, and you're going to be stuck in this wall. So then you're going to jump forward. When you see the screen like I do, pause, wait for everything to load in, and when you go back it should be all black. Then just sprint forwards and then continue up the stairs, around here, forwards, along to the computer room. Well, unfortunately, you can't skip this at all using any save glitches. You have to sit through the cutscene because there are no saving points in the insane mode, and I will see you after the cutscene. Okay, so now we're into the next section of the game. This section's fairly simple, doesn't require too many glitches. However, it is fairly long in terms of actually getting through the chapter because there aren't any glitches. But anyway, initially you want to just hop over that straight away and open the door behind the pillar. You then want to slink through this gap, take a left, sorry you can hear my phone vibrating, climb up onto the box and hop up and turn around 180 degrees to where you can see the light and head through. Now here we're going to do a little wall glitch where you can run across that gap by turning around as you do so, like that. If you can figure out the controls for that, which are fairly simple, then it's a very easy glitch to do, and the worst comes to the worst, you'll just fall off and have to climb up again. So head into the decompression chamber, or decontamination chamber, and then head straight up the stairs. So once you have done that, well, when we get to the top of the stairs, there we go. So then you want to jump down the hole and you want to open the door directly in front of you. I do barge this, but it doesn't really matter, just saves a few seconds. And if you do see me pausing the game a lot, it's just to check that my recording equipment is still working. So you want to head around here. I'm going to do a nice little set of loops here. So you're going to just jump across there and open that door, and immediately someone's going to start chasing you. Now instead of doing any glitches of any kind, which we could probably do, just do the crouch glitch a lot. We're going to play it safe and we're going to run back and jump across that. Just check to see if he's behind us. Shut the door, run into the cell, climb up onto the bed and sit at the back. So I am going to speed up this section because it does take him a while to realise I'm here. If you are sitting there a while and you can't see him come into the room, I do highly suggest turning your volume up for this section just so that you can hear him shutting the door as he leaves, because if you can hear a gate squeak shut, it means he's gone. Or if he enters the room and leaves again, it means he is probably going. But yeah, you have to listen for that gate to squeak shut. So there he is. And so I'm going to run back and I'm going to climb back onto the bed and wait for him to come in. I know I said I'd speed it up, but it's just best to leave the tutorial as it is. So he also takes 6 hits to knock down the door. He shouldn't see you in this back corner, even if your brightness is turned all the way up and it looks like he should be able to see you, he won't, because the brightness for the AIs is still fairly low. So he's going to go over there and check the locker, and even if he does come into the cell that you're in, he shouldn't be able to see you. And if he does, just rely on the good old crouch glitch where you spam crouch. But anyway, wait for him to go, and he should stroll away and go through the squeaky gate, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Where you just go back the way you came, hit the button, and you can either, well, after you've hit the button, you're going to end up being followed by another enemy, but he won't run after you, he'll just walk slowly towards you and hit you if you go near him, which is somewhat inevitable. However, if you do as I do here and hit the button, turn around and run back and spam crouch, you should be able to get past him with ease. So here's a really good example of me showing off the crouch glitch. So anyway, once you're a decent portion ahead of him, you're going to run across here, jump over that, and head into the decontamination chamber. So then you're going to follow along this path here and jump out the window. Pretty self-explanatory here. Not many glitches, not anything you really need to do. So I'm going to keep the commentary short here because it's unnecessary. Just do as I do on screen.
Wait. Just a moment.
So now we arrive at this stage. We're going to barge open that door there, turn around and open the security door. The reason why we barged open the first door is just to save a few frames and speed up the game a little bit. Hit the button, turn around and head straight up the vent. Once you're up the vent, there's no need to use the camera at all. Just follow the vent along and keep going until you see a light appearing on your right hand side. You're going to drop down there and you're simply going to stand up and run straight forward through the gate we just opened and jump straight into the flames and you'll be pushed down. So here you may not be able to see what I'm doing entirely because I don't use the camera, I don't think, and it's quite dark, so I will just explain what I'm doing. Once you stand up and take the camera, you're going to get your bearings and you're going to head straight to the staircase where Chris Walker is going to appear. And once he does, I will tell you exactly what I do. So you can see me getting my bearings, just using the camera a second to figure out where I'm going. So I'm just going to hop over this, and I'm going to use the spam crouch glitch just to sneak past him. You should be able to see kind of what I'm doing. This should work for everyone. It should work on PC, Xbox and PlayStation 4. But as you can see here, I'm not using the camera. I know where I'm going. You can use the camera if you want. But once you feel like you get a good distance ahead of him, you just want to start running. And I know where all the obstacles are on this. There's 2 fallen doors, I believe. But use your camera if you have to, but keep its usage to a minimum, as I said previously. But you should be able to get away from him that way. And the rest of the chapter is, as before, pretty self-explanatory. And I am going to speed it up because there's no real commentary. It's just a simple case of doing exactly what I do. Okay, so with this chapter, it's fairly simple because you just want to basically be doing exactly as I do. The only real glitch, I suppose, to be doing here is the crouch glitch, and you're probably wondering why I'm talking very quietly. It's because I'm recording this late at night, so I'll do my best to turn the audio of my voice up, but apologies if it's not exactly clear. So you want to head through here exactly as I do. And there is a glitch to get through this, but I'm very confident in doing that glitch. But for any new players who tried the glitch, it's probably not going to end well for you because there is a chance you can fall out of the map and then have to restart. So I'm not going to be doing the glitch. Instead, we're just going to be doing the crouch glitch to get through the whole section. So you want to turn that, and you want to instantly turn around, and Chris Walker is going to be headed your way, and instead of running away from him, I'm going to run towards him and start spamming crouch. Now it might be scary at first because he doesn't initially start to glitch out, but he will. If you keep doing exactly as I do and keep spamming that crouch button, you will be fine. So when you feel like you're a good enough distance away from him, just start running. And there is a barrier right there which you want to hop over. And instead of crouching through the hole, which you can do, I find it quicker just to run around, take a left, take a right, and then take another right, and then head straight like this, and you should be pretty good to go. So you head through there, and then you want to head over into that room right there, and you want to turn the valve. So then the rest is pretty similar to what I was doing before. And again, if I keep pausing, it's because I'm checking that the recording is working. But I go through here, but there isn't really a real reason why I do that. It's just sort of to check that he's there, which he always is going to be, but it's just a check. But then you want to head back on yourself, if you feel confident enough. Take a left, and begin to take another left, but then you want to start spamming immediately. Right, you want to start spamming immediately, just so he doesn't grab you, because one hit from Chris Walker on insane mode, and you're gone. So you want to spam. You don't want to forget about that jump you have to do halfway down this tunnel, or about 2/3 down the tunnel. But then you just want to start running, and once you're ahead of him, once he's behind you, you're good to go. So remember that jump, and then you want to head straight for the ladder, and you want to start climbing down. make sure you don't fall down the ladder, because that will kill you, and that is just a troll. So make sure you carefully approach the ladder and head down to the bottom. So once you get down to the bottom, you want to crouch down, look at the bricks, and do a 180-degree turn until you reach the water. Then you want to take a 90-degree turn left, and keep following it along until you reach this corner right here. When you do that, take a left and keep going straight, and you're basically just going to keep walking dead ahead until you reach the water. And when you do reach the water, just keep going straight, don't turn at all until you reach the brick wall. Then stand up, do 90-degree right and run forwards. You'll hit a barrier, which you notice, so just move yourself to the right and jump over it. And keep running straight, there'll be some steam, don't worry, and there'll be another barrier, but just jump over that, and then jump up the ladder. It's pretty self-explanatory and pretty easy once you know what you're doing. But then you're going to head up, and don't worry, there's nothing that can really hurt you up here, but we are going to... I'm going to speed up the rest of this video because it's simply a case of doing what I say and there isn't too much explanation required. Actually, there is. Forget to say that there is some explanation still required, so I'm just going to walk you through that quickly. So you're going to head down here and you're going to climb down this ladder, but instead of climbing down, just press B and you'll jump off it down to the bottom. It's quicker than climbing down. Take a left and run straight. So, go around these boxes, avoid the water. I tried jumping over this box, but it's actually not possible, so just make your way around it. Then you're going to take a right, and you're going to take another right, like this. And then you're just going to sort of crouch through the tunnel. If your brightness is up all the way, you should be able to make it through here without using your batteries at all. Just keep following it around, and it's kind of weird, but basically just stay to the right of the tunnel. You'll eventually reach a fork in the road. Just take a right. You really don't need your camera for this at all. Even if your brightness isn't turned up all the way, you shouldn't need your camera at all. So you come up here, and instead of going underneath and crouching, just jump up like this and climb over. And then you want to go through the door, and you want to walk forwards and take a left. Alright, so I'm just going to show you that again. So from the door, just walk forwards and take a left. And I'm doing it backwards for you. Take a left and just keep heading that way, and you'll eventually drop down into the water. When you do, just keep heading directly straight, and you'll climb up there. And then what you do is just keep heading straight, drop down, take a 90-degree turn right, and walk forward for a bit. If you slightly overshoot the 90 degrees, then you'll miss the staircase. So just keep looking around until you find a staircase. It should be on your left. Walk up the staircase. When you get to the top of the staircase, take a sharp right, and just keep going forward, and crouch if you want to see the floor. But then just jump into the water, because you should see the way out. So water in this game slows you down, and you can't do the crouching glitch in it. So this is probably the most dangerous part of the run, or one of the most dangerous, is if you turn your brightness all the way up, you should be able to see the staircase. So when you're in the water, you just want to keep jumping forward, and you go super fast, just jump through the water, and it negates the speed. And use your night vision so you can see where the staircase is. Chris Walker will start chasing you the second you get to the staircase, but just make sure you don't get caught on anything and you'll be fine. Replay that section again if you need to. So when you reach this door, you want to do the door glitch. You jump back and jump forward. When you get on top, you want to jump left, but don't jump too far, just jump just enough to get yourself lodged on, and be very careful here, don't fall off the edge. If you want, you can just do this section legit, but just do exactly as I do, and fall down exactly what I do. Basically, just don't fall out the map, and you're fine. If you don't want to risk this glitch, then do it legit. You should really know what you're doing here, it's not too difficult. Drop down where I do, and no one will be chasing you. The guy who normally chases you is rattling the fence there, so just make your way down here. And the rest of the video I'm going to cut the commentary for, because it's, again, just do it exactly as I do. And we're good to go. So this section of the game is basically just a giant chase scene. Everything's pretty much do what I do until we get to the chase scene, and even when we get to the chase scene, if you're trying this on insane mode, you probably know the chase scene off by heart by now. It's very simple to do, and even if you don't know it off by heart, literally just watch what I do and do exactly what I do, because it's not complicated and it's really simple to do. Again, apologies for the low volume / slightly ASMR style audio. It's just that I'm recording this really late at night, as I've said. So anyway, here comes the chase scene, and I'm just going to sort of let it play with no commentary, so just do exactly as I do, or do it yourself. I'll be talking to you guys again very soon.
What's down there? You're not one of them, are you? Quick, get in the dumbwaiter if you want to live.
You're the right choice here, bud. Hey, you're the bullshit priest's guy, aren't you?
So after that long ass 5-minute cutscene, you initially just want to go straight away. You want to go left, head out and go and sit exactly where I do, as exactly what you can see in the video. And what you want to do is you literally just want to sit here and you want to wait for this guy to do his talking, and eventually Traeger will open the door and you will see him coming in, and you want to do exactly what I do, right? I know I've said that a lot in this tutorial, but a lot of this tutorial is really just doing what I do and doing what you see in the video. And I will explain any glitches that I do, and until I do glitches, basically just keep doing what I do, basically. So I'll let this play out.
He's coming now.
Alright, so once we've reached this point, it's very important that you do exactly as I do in the video. So you want to drop down, take a left, and push this grate out of the way, or a big metal thing, not a grate. But anyway, push it out of the way, and you want to open up that door, but you don't want to go through it. So then you want to take a left and run this way, and then take a first left again, and go through here. And you should hear Traeger. He might have come out of the double doors, but just ignore him and keep going straight. So come along to here and open this door and turn back on yourself, and you want to go and attract Traeger's attention. You want to get his attention. He should be following you anyway, but just wait around there for his attention, and you basically want to take him through this route and shut this door behind you, which should automatically be open, and that should give you enough time to go over to this metal thing here and push this out of the way. He is still coming after you, so don't stop at any point. Just push that out of the way, open the door, and take a right and run to the end of the corridor, and you should be good to go. Very, very simple, very easy. But yeah, just keep doing that. So once you make your way through the vent, you don't need a camera at all for this. Just drop down and take an immediate left, and then take a right and open the door on the right hand side. Then you want to hop over that and grab the key. Once you've got that, turn around, Traeger will start chasing you immediately, and sit back where you did before in the first room, just like this, but leave the door open. And Traeger will follow you, and he'll stroll into the room and start looking for you, and when he does, you want to run back the way he came. Alright, so just basically do what I do. Alright, so he's done that. You want to stand up, turn around, and just peg it. Jump over that and head an immediate left towards the elevator. So go towards the end of the corridor, and now you'll be glad you pushed that thing out of the way and open the door. Take a left and get into the elevator. Put the key in and allow the scripted cutscene to play.
I'm not giving up on you.
So pop open that hatch at the top of the elevator and jump through. A pretty much a scripted scene again. And then take an immediate right and go forth. Then take a left, hop down the stairs and go through the crack in the door and just keep following your way along. It's pretty much a linear system here. There's only one way you can really go. So here's a little bit confusing, you'll be able to see what I'm doing, but I take a left and then I take a first right, and I just sort of follow along that wall, avoiding a wheelchair and go through a door into the bathroom. So here's a little bit confusing, you'll be able to see what I'm doing, but I take a left and then I take a first right, and I just sort of follow along that wall, avoiding a wheelchair and go through a door into the bathrooms, right? So take a left and then a first right. Use your night vision if you have to a little bit, and you should get into the bathroom here. So what you will notice here is that the video pauses and there is suddenly a save option, and the reason that is because in the insane run that I was doing, I attempted a glitch to see if it was possible, but I messed it up, and instead of just doing the whole insane mode run again, I just decided to go into nightmare mode just so I could load in the game. But don't worry, the only difference between Insane and Nightmare is that you can't save on Insane. But the enemies are still the same difficulties, and you'll also notice that my batteries have been reloaded, but that was by accident. But don't worry, everything's basically still just as normal, okay? So now we're entering this section here. It's pretty simple to do, really, this because the crouching glitch just can be done on any difficulty, and it's really, really useful. So do exactly as I do here, take an immediate right and rush into this area first, where you want to turn on the lever and wait for Chris Walker, and then proceed to do the crouching glitch. So yeah, wait for him to approach you and just start rapidly crouching, and you should be good to just sneak past him. But make sure you keep your eye on him, just like if he starts coming for you for any reason, then just start sprinting. Once you get a good distance away, just keep doing what I'm doing, and you'll be alright. So yeah, so a lot of this section really just involves using the crouching glitch, and all of this is possible on insane mode, so I know it's kind of annoying that I'm doing it on nightmare, but don't worry about it at all. Just keep doing the crouching glitch here, and if I were you, I'd do the crouching glitch all the way until you get to the way you need to go, which is the button to press, because running away like I do is kind of risky in case he catches onto you, but you should be good either way, really. So just I start running here, which is perfectly safe, really, but it might be a little bit safer just to keep crouching right up until the last second. Then get through there, and you can hear Chris Walker coming up my arse, but just ignore him there, and then go forward, and we should be good to move on to the outside section of the level. I'm going to cut the commentary here, but yeah, I'll see you in the outside section. So for this section, it's again very, very simple. Most of this tutorial is actually just do as I do on screen, and so for that reason you will have probably heard me say that a lot. So at this point, what you want to do is just head outside, and this is very tempting to use your camera, but don't. See if you can do this without. You want to head to the left, and you should see a shed with a sort of light behind it. If you have your brightness turned up, you should be able to see that. Pretty common knowledge anyway. So then grab the key, and you'll see in a minute that I attempt to do a glitch that will speed up the run, but I realised that I failed the glitch. And it doesn't kick me out of the game, luckily, but if you do fail the glitch, there is a chance that it can cause you to fall out the map and so on. So here is me just doing the wall breach glitch, just to sort of run along the wall and speed up the whole thing. But I decide against it, because look, it does involve using batteries as well. But yeah, just ignore this, and you want to just skip a few seconds ahead, just to get to the point of me doing the run legit. So yep, here we go. So just going at it legit. Take a right and run forwards, and just keep running forwards, and you open a door, and you will get hit by the wall rider. He will appear, but don't worry. After one hit, just look around and try and work your bearings without using the camera. He won't hit you again. He'll go away, and you can work your way outside and climb up the ladder. So when on the roof and using this bit, this is probably where you're going to need the night vision the most, to be honest. So make sure you've got a lot saved, and just use it in short bursts. Use the lightning to help you in your map knowledge. But use it for these jumps, I'd say, if you can afford to. But definitely don't use it when you're on these this ledge and other ledges, because you just don't need to. It's just a case of pushing right on the stick and just going around. Except when you get to here, there's another couple jumps, so you do want to make sure that you know where you're going. So you could be using it a little bit more conservatively than I am. But yeah, you wanna make sure that you're clambering up all these things and doing everything well. So when you reach this point, just run dead ahead and keep running until you come face to face with a brick wall. At this point, take a 90-degree turn right and go up the stairs. You do see me using my camera quite a lot. Try not to do this if you can. But here's a tricky part. Here's a part where you might die, unfortunately, because it's sort of random. Random chance on where Chris Walker will spawn in. But luckily, he tends to spawn in the same area each time. So I pause it there just to explain that, but if you jump over this, you'll make a hard landing, and you can use your night vision for this, I would recommend. But run straight towards the middle to where the bridge is, and he'll either spawn behind the bridge or on the bridge. If he's on the bridge, just run away and clamber up these. And if he's not on the bridge, run across the bridge. You basically sort of want him to get into a little loop using the bridge just to get away from him. But then clamber up there, don't mess up like I did a little bit and nearly die. Use your night vision if you have to, because you don't really need it for the rest of the run. And definitely take it off when climbing along this ledge. I know it's pretty difficult to see in the video what exactly I'm doing, but I'm just walking along a ledge and I'm using the night vision a lot just so that you can see what I'm doing. But yeah, just press B, not A, don't jump off, just press B and you'll lower yourself down like that and you won't take any damage. Just run forwards, you don't need the night vision, but you want to do the crouch glitch again here. You'll know Chris is coming because you can hear him. The music will start playing, just press B and keep spamming crouch. Honestly, this glitch is such a useful glitch. It really, really is. To be honest, you could probably just get through the entire game without using any other glitch but this. But the speedrun tactics that I have shown do help speed up the game a little bit. So yeah, put your camera away now because you really don't need to use it. And just proceed forwards. Take a left. Clamber up there. Make sure if at any point you're unsure about what I'm doing, that you go back and you take rewatch the video in certain parts. So here it's quite difficult to see what I'm doing, but I'm not using the night vision at all, because you should be able to see like the ends of corridors and things. Just try and follow what I'm doing. And when you get to the end of the corridor, go back and rewatch it if you weren't sure the cuts I made. But if you get to this point, you want to align yourself like this. Lean left and just walk forwards, and just keep walking forwards. Don't stop, don't turn left to right, just keep walking straight forwards, and you'll come to this part here, and you will have skipped a huge chunk of the level, and you can just jump over there and begin begin this. You don't need your night vision for this at all, by the way, because at this point in the game you're not supposed to have your camera anyway, because we're going to go and pick up the new camera. So you do have access to the camera via this glitch, but you shouldn't need to use it. There is a chance you can get stuck doing the glitch we just did, but if you literally do everything as I just told you, then you should be fine. Just lean left and walk straight forwards and keep going until you appear. So when you've picked up the camera, the night vision will automatically be on. Turn that off, and race back the exact way you came. And if you're not sure where I'm really going, just basically follow and do what I do. And make sure that you are paying attention to the video so that you are going the right way. So you want to take a left there and a left into the bathroom and clamber up here. It's quicker to just double tap A when climbing up things than it is to push yourself up with the stick. But anyway, yeah, you will need to use the night vision again shortly, just as to jump over a gap in the floor. But I'll show you when. I will use the night vision when. So run back around here, take a left, and you'll want to come to this point here and just jump back up. So here's the point where you're going to want to use the night vision for a bit, because there's literally a hole in the floor right there that you want to jump over. But when you're there, take a left and just head straight through here, and that's going to collapse in front of you. Be careful, you can die from full damage here, so don't make that jump. I nearly did, but don't. Make your way around the sides, be very careful, and just drop down here like I do.
Only one way out. Only one way.
So at this point, just keep going forwards. And I'm going to do a glitch in the next section, but I've just recorded an audio of myself explaining that you might not want to do the glitch, because there is a risk it could end your game. But here's the audio. I'll let it play for you now, and I'll pick back up afterwards. So in this next section of the video, I dedicate the section to distracting Chris Walker and then performing a door glitch. I reach the end of the corridor, jump up onto a door and skip over a locked door to get to the other side to get into the cinema early. However, there is a chance that you can get stuck during this glitch, and for whatever reason, if Chris Walker is right beneath you as you do it, he can hit you, so it's a little bit risky. If you do everything that I do in the tutorial, you should be fine, but because it's a glitch, because it's unreliable, there is a chance you might get stuck or something like that, right? There's a chance. So if you're not comfortable doing that, you don't want to take that risk, then please feel free to just simply do the rest of the game legit, because if you do decide you want to do that, I haven't unfortunately recorded myself doing that, but the way you go about it is you take the from the checkpoint, from where the video will kick off, where I spawn in. It's the third door on your left, I believe, that you want to go into. It's the door on your left, the first door on your left that's ajar, right? So all of the doors on the left are going to be shut except for one, which I believe is the third one along, which is going to be slightly open. Sorry if you can hear my family in the background. And you're going to go in that one, the third door on the left, I believe. I might be wrong. If I am wrong and Chris Walker's after your bum, just do the crouch glitch and find where you need to go. There's a vent. It's one of the rooms on the left. As I said, I think it's the third one along, the one where the door is slightly open. There should be a vent in there. You want to go along there and just keep following the level. And then pause the tutorial, because my tutorial will still apply when you get to the cinema. So if you go along and do everything as you should be doing it until you get to the cinema, then you can continue on my tutorial. So yeah, that's just a disclaimer right there, just a warning that if you don't feel comfortable doing the glitch, then don't. You don't have to. But watch me do the glitch, and then decide for yourself. So for this section of the game, what you want to be doing is you want to be doing this. So you're going to want to run forwards, and yes, my audio is different, but don't worry about that. And you want to open this door here, right? You want to bring Chris Walker into here. So you want to go and get his attention. You want to take him into this room here, whereby you want to take him to this corner and start doing the spam bit, right? Because you want to keep him in place here. Right? This is where you want to keep him. Okay, because you need to lose his attention to give yourself enough time to do a glitch at the other end of the corridor where he can't kill you. Right, so this is where you want to leave him. Just leave the door open, don't worry about that. But or you can shut it if you want, but it doesn't really matter too much. Just keep doing the spam glitch all the way to the end of the corridor. Maybe do it backwards just so you can check he's not following you. He shouldn't be, but just in case, you know. So yeah, keep spamming all the way to the end of the corridor. It's a bit slow and a bit tedious, I know, and not really a speed run, I suppose, but this is just a sort of easy tactic. But keep spamming all the way, and you want to open that door. And now you want to be very quick. I'm going to do a door glitch here, and very quickly move forward so it doesn't catch you, because it can hit you up here for whatever reason. Move forwards and just sort of jump forwards into here. Right, you can get a little bit stuck up there, so be very, very careful. What you want to do here is you want to go down here. And we're going into the cinema. Alright? So then you're just going to want to make your way up. You don't need to use the camera here, but I am. You don't need to though. And you want to crouch under here. Music might still be playing, but don't worry about that. I'm going to do this, and you'll get jump scared. And now this door should be open for you. So yeah, it's a little bit glitched, as you can see down there. There's the piano guy who's just not loaded in. That's alright, you just want to follow this along. Music should have stopped now. This is a little bit tedious, but you have to do this. And jump forwards and pull yourself up. So then you want to grab the key, and you want to just jump over this and press B and then hop down. Right, so there is a guy there, don't worry about it. Just use the spam glitch on him as well, or just stay away from him, he shouldn't see you. But just for safety's measure, use the spam glitch. So now that you've opened that door, he isn't going to break it down, even though he usually does, but don't worry about it. Stay away from him and use the spam glitch and you'll be fine, just like I do. Then you want to go forward and you go for this door, which will now be open. I do believe that is very heavily glitched. I don't think Chris Walker's should be coming for us, but the music is acting like he is. But don't worry about it. Basically just head up the stairs. And what you want to do then is you want to just continue forwards. I do believe it's to the left, isn't it? Yeah. There should be a door somewhere along this wall to the left. Just feel along. And then head to the left again. And not in here. And through here. And you want to take the second door on the right, I believe it is. Yeah, second door on the left, sorry. Be very careful here, approaching. Don't want to fall out the window, you just want to walk to the left. Keep following it along and you should be fine. And then enter here. I'm just attempting a glitch here. I don't think this works. I don't think you can back away from this. No, you can't. So unfortunately there's no way of glitching around that, like I thought there would be. So you do have to sit through this. So I'll see you after the cutscene's done. So this next section is a very simple case of, as all sections are, do what I do. There's really nothing that needs to be done. So once you've headed up the vent and out of the vent, run towards Chris Walker and do the crouch glitch. Without using your camera here, you may get stuck on some tables and chairs, but just keep doing the crouch glitch and find your way through them, weave your way through them. Even with my brightness on highest, it's very difficult to see where some of the tables and chairs are. As you see, I get stuck on a couple of them, and Chris Walker's coming for me, but it's alright, just keep crouching, and you will be fine. Just sort of fiddle your way through. Use your camera if you absolutely have to, but try and refrain from doing so. And even if it's a little bit scary, because he's so close, just don't worry, just hop onto that thing and jump up into the vent, and Chris Walker is no longer a problem for us. So yeah, I'm going to just cut the commentary and speed up the video here until I need to commentate next, because just basically do as I do, as I've said so many times, just do as I do in the video and you will be fine. Everything that I do is applicable in insane mode. So yeah, I will see you when I next need to talk. So you pause for a second here. If you're wondering how I got here from the cutscene with Wernicke, leave the room with Wernicke, take an immediate left, so like sort of back the way you came, like head back to the elevator, and literally next door a door will open for you, and you'll be here. Okay, and just a word, like, do be very careful with this next section. This is probably the last riskiest section of the game, so you have to be very careful. Listen to what I say, watch the video a couple of times, I'd say, before doing it, just so you don't rush and die now, because this is probably one of the most ragey points in the game to die, if not right at the end. So yeah, I'm just putting that forth. So unfortunately, there is no way of skipping the cutscene with Wernicke, but here you want to be very careful. You want to run forward, and the second you see that wall rider coming after you, the second you hear the sirens going off, you want to run straight into this kitchen, but you don't want to keep running all the way. You want to make sure that he is following you, because if he loops around in front of you or something, like one hit from him and you're gone, you're dead. So you want to make sure he's behind you, and he's definitely staying behind you, but you do want to make sure that you're not super close to him, because he is, I think he's a tad faster than you actually, I can't remember exactly, but make sure you shut that door behind you. Absolutely make sure you do that and just run for it. It may seem close, it may seem like you might have enough time, but if you're far enough ahead of him, shut that door behind you. So keep running up, and the rest, you should be fine, really. That's the only thing I really needed to explain. Is that tricky bit there, is basically just like the second you see the wall rider appearing, the second you hear those noises, like the second you know it's there, the second that black cloud starts to appear, just turn around and peg it. Don't wait to see it or anything, like just turn around and peg it, because otherwise he will catch you. I've made the mistake so many times of being too close to the wall rider by accident. But also you can't make the mistake of running away from the wall rider too early, because then you'll like run around and run back into him, because he won't have been following you or stuff like that. So you want to be careful. There's sort of a sweet spot. You kind of have to figure that out for yourself, unfortunately, because there isn't really a way of me helping you with that. But yeah, the rest is basically just running and being chased, and there's not too much you can do. Just watch the video before you do any of this, I'd say, and make sure you do everything I do, like leave the doors open that I leave open and stuff, and jump off things where I jump off things, because it just speeds everything up, makes it a bit easier. And sort of before you do things, before you interact with things or open doors or things, like jump into them. That makes it quicker, like here. Oh, I don't do it here actually, but yeah, other occasions just sort of jump before, like, it'll make sense when you see me do it. But anyway, yeah, so that should be it. That should be the achievement done. I don't need to commentate anymore, but if you keep doing exactly what I'm doing in the video, then you should really be good. There's nothing else for me really to say or do. I do recommend completing the game, because I do think you get the achievements before you complete the game. I think you get the achievements the second you've killed Billy, but just to be safe, I'd recommend completing the game, which is a little bit tedious because you have to go through those slow animations of sort of crawling around and then getting shot by the guards. But don't worry about those. Like, just complete the game for the sake of safety. You don't want to have done all of this only to find out that you don't get the achievements. So be very careful. As long as you follow this guide almost to a T, it's a fairly simple guide, and you haven't made any mistakes yourself, then congratulations, you should have the achievement. Remember, I know it's a bit late to say this, but remember, keep your brightness up. Make sure your brightness is up. The other thing is, when you get up from this point, you have to run immediately right. I don't mention this in the original commentary, so I'm inserting this in, is that the wall rider appears directly to your left. Like, the wall rider is right behind you when you're running through this dark corridor. So when I sort of vaguely say, like, oh, use the rest of your battery if you have any. But if you do have battery left, use it. Like, there are obstacles in this corridor, only like 1 or 2 that are to your left, so if you just run around them, you'll be fine, but make sure that you don't hit him. You get blocked by one of those obstacles and you're going to die, because he's right behind you. You have to get to that decontamination chamber without stopping. But don't stress about it, just maybe, again, watch the video a couple times before attempting it, and you should be good, okay? So this is probably the most difficult part, because you can't use the crouch glitch on the wall rider. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, so get up and run immediately right and use the remainder of your battery, but don't reload the goddamn batteries. Honestly, that's the last thing you want to do. Just don't. Even if you run out of battery altogether, this is the last point where you'll need it. So just don't reload, use it up, you'll be fine. Alright, just make sure you don't get blocked by any obstacles. You have to reach that decontamination chamber, alright? And yeah, just watch the video a couple times before you do it. Way, gamma's up, everything's up, just so you can see as much as possible. Oh yeah, thank God I didn't stop the commentary yet. So this bit is the only other bit you might need your night vision for. But basically what this is just a big sort of turn to the left, but there's a lot of obstacles in the way that you might not be able to see without the night vision. But that's the last time you'll need the night vision, so if you do have any left, without accidentally reloading the fucking batteries, right, how annoying would that be? Use the last bit of your night vision if you have to, because you don't need it again. Just to avoid those obstacles, but if you know what the obstacles are, then it's not necessary. But if you don't, or if you're slightly unsure, then use the night vision. But anyway, yeah, congratulations everyone if you've got the achievement from using this guide. Yeah, I will see you maybe in another guide at some point. But hope you enjoyed this. It did take me a lot of effort putting this all together, to do a lot of recording and a lot of audio stuff. So yeah, I did put in a lot of effort for this. I know Outlast is an old game and everything, but it's well worth it for me. One of my favourite games, and I really do enjoy speedrunning it. I've never speedrun it on the insane mode before. Usually I use loads of glitches and stuff. On like normal difficulty, I can complete it in under 20 minutes, I think, or 20 minutes max. Which is pretty impressive, but I use lots of glitches that require saves and things like that, which you can't do on insane mode, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going to let the rest play out, and yeah, thank you for watching.